ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ। ਲਾਸਟ ਟਾਈਮ ਆਪਾਂ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਬਣਾਈ ਸੀ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਟਰ ਦੇ biqu B1 SE Plus। ਇਹ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਪਰ ਦੀ ਅਸੈਂਬਲਿੰਗ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਬਣਾਈ ਸੀ ਪਰ ਇਹ ਵਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ, ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਇਹਦੀ ਓਪਨ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਸੀਗੀ, ਤੇ ਪਲੱਸ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਦੇ ਐਕਸਟਰਾ ਸਪੇਅਰ ਪਾਰਟ ਆਏ ਨੇ। I'm waiting a long time, but finally the parts here. We are adding a lead screw, second Z lead screw. Here is a manual, and okay, a single page manual. So here's for the instruction manuals for a step by step. So here B1 SE Plus dual Z kit. So the kit, what's inside, how to prepare. Okay, so step by step with the graphical images how to do it. So what's inside, so the extra motors, lead screw, coupling, okay, right arm fixing. So here's what to do for this. So how to, this is the last time for attachment for the motherboard. Okay, so let's open it and check it what's inside. We are using a both language, English and Punjabi. So ਆਪਾਂ खोल लिया, बॉक्स खोल लिया, ओपन कर लिया. So first is the right side, like going here. So the motor, and what they call is bracket. It's a right screw motor mount bracket. Okay, first then this is a lead screw nut holder. Okay, so okay, they give us a TMC driver, TMC 2225 driver. Inside the box is a driver and heatsink. This is for if we are using a second driver, we are using an independent drive, like independent lead screws. ਦੋਨੇ ਲੀਡ ਸਕਰੂ ਅਲੱਗ-ਅਲੱਗ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਗੇ, ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਗੇ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਦੱਸੂਗਾ ਕਿ ਇਹਦਾ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ ਕੀ ਆ. ਸੋ ਦਾ ਪੈਰਲਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਇੱਕ ਉੱਪਰ ਜਾਊਗਾ ਦੋਨੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਵਰਕ ਕਰਨਗੇ. ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੈਕੰਡ ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਲਗਾ ਕੇ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਦੋਨੇ ਅਲੱਗ-ਅਲੱਗ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਗੇ. ਅਗਰ ਅਲਾਈਨਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਅਲਾਈਨਮੈਂਟ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਹੋਏਗੀ. ਸੋ we are using this second driver for the independent lead screw and the auto alignment. Okay, here is some baggie. Okay, what's inside this bag? So is a motor to motherboard wire. Okay, the first coupling, step 1, step 2 spacer, step 3 long M5 button head screws, and step 4 for the lock nuts and spare screws. So okay, so this is inside all new. So here's a lead screw. Okay, so that's it, nothing else. This is inside the box. Okay, okay, put the box away. So Okay, they send me this TMC drivers, 5 drivers extra for in case. So because they send me this part too late. So okay, good. I'm not paying anything for this extra drivers. So because my shipment is late, too late. So I'm waiting for a month. So that's why they give me for free. So it's thank you BQ for these free drivers. I appreciate. And my second attempt. So here's a BL Touch. I already make a video for this. Okay, and the third one is PEI sheet. This is a PEI sheet. So maybe I made a mistake because this is a plain PEI sheet. So we are using a nozzle as probe. This nozzles, hot nozzle is it's not working. This is not for a nozzle as probe printer. So this nozzle is working on hot condition. So they are when they are like we are using. Okay, so let me remove this first. So this is not. And we are using like this. This is a magnetic sheet. But this is a damage from the corners. So when I remove the pills, I hope it's seeing or not. So here is a damage. Is a little bit. Yeah, here is a damage, and for in this corner, maybe. But this PA sheet is not recommended for the nozzle as probe because we don't have a BL Touch or anything else. The nozzle act like a probe. So the auto bed leveling with the nozzle. So when nozzle is auto bed leveling, it's near about 140 degree Celsius hot. So they are damage this PEI coating. Okay, maybe don't know. It's when we're testing it, then we are seeing what's the results. Okay, so बिना चेक किए पता नहीं लग सकता भी कि चीज़ कितना किमें करना हुआ पर मे बी टेस्ट करे तो शायद पता चल जाए कि कम करोगी कि नहीं करोगी बट कंपनी BQ कंपनी रेकमेंड नहीं करती कि ये शीट तुसी इस प्रिंटर ते यूज़ करो. ओके सो ਆਪਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਵਾ ਆ ਚੀਜ਼ ਆ ਵਾਲਾ ਮਾਊਂਟ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਰਿਮੂਵ ਕਰਨਾ ਵਾ ਫਿਰ ਆ ਮਾਊਂਟ ਲਗਾਉਣਾ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਸੋ ਸਕਰੂਜ਼ ਰਿਮੂਵ ਕਰਨੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਤੇ let me show you. So okay, so here is I remove these all these screws and this amount and add this and add the coupler here, like attach a same like this. Attach same like this and like this coupler and attachment like this wires and anything else open from downside. So okay, so okay, first we are adding M4 button head here and hammer nut here, see, okay, then it's going to upward and I'm removing this default one and prepare this first. The downside नीचे वाले ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ downside Allen key button head bolt है M4 वाला ये भी और T nut ਇਨਸਾਈਡ। ਇਹਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਵਾ ਔਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਚ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੋਲਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਅਲਾਈਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ टाइट करना शुरू करना। लाइन करता मोटर ऊपर स्क्रूज इत्थे लगणगे, इत्थे छोटे वाले स्मॉल वन was two here and long one going here downside and the small one going here. Okay, so two screws going here. Okay, दो इत्थे लंबे वाले नट वाले इत्थे, लॉन्ग वन सब तो लंबा इत्थे, उस तो बाद फिर एक इत्थे अलाइन करके इन्हां नूं स्क्रूज नूं टाइट कर देना। फिर जिहड़े छोटे वाले ने दो इत्थे ते दो इत्थे, इन्हां नूं टाइट करके फिर आपां नेक्स्ट स्टेप। Okay, we are installing the motor, adding a screw here. Every screw is default as same, but we are changing these two screws only. ਆਪਾਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਆਹ ਦੋ ਸਕਰੂ ਚੇਂਜ ਕੀਤੇ ਆ, ਬਾਕੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਬਲਟ ਸੀਗੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹੀ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕੀਤੇ ਨੇ। ਮੋਟਰ ਦਾ ਮੂੰਹ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਨੂੰ ਕਰਨਾ ਵਾ, ਪਿੱਛੇ ਵੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਆ ਉੱਪਰ ਨੂੰ। ਆ ਵਾਇਰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਉਰੇ ਲੱਗਣੀ ਆ, ਇੱਥੋਂ ਇੱਧਰ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਅੰਦਰ ਜਾਊਗੀ ਇਹ ਤਾਰ, ਇੱਥੋਂ ਇੱਧਰ। ਓਕੇ, ਵਾਇਰਸ from here to here. Okay, so now we are adding a coupler here. Okay, this coupler 5 mm डाया इस तरह जाएगा और 8 mm डाया ऊपर में, इधरले पासे 8 mm, इधरले पासे 5 mm इदा लग जाना है। फिर इदा कसिया जाना वा तो उस तो बाद लीड स्क्रू इस तरह लगूगा। Okay, what we are doing here, here is a flat side on the motor shaft, motor rod, whatever they call. Okay, and here is a, so we are little bit upside, doing a flush attach screw on this motor rod, not flushly attached. We have some tiny, you have to make some tiny gap here between the this and this. Okay, ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੈਪ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਵਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ, ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਪੂਰੇ ਜੁਆਇੰਟ ਜੋੜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ। ਸੋ ਆ ਇੱਕ ਪੂਰਾ ਫਲੈਟ ਏਰੀਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਵਾ, ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਸਕਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਟਾਈਟ ਕਰਤਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਮੂਵਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਹੀ ਰਹੇ। ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਲੀਡ ਸਕਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਟਾਈਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਵਾ, ਬਟ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਲੀਡ ਸਕਰੂ ਨਟ ਇੱਥੇ ਮਾਊਂਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਵਾ, ਇਹ ਇੱਥੇ ਮਾਊਂਟ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਪਾਰਟ ਰਿਮੂਵ ਹੋਏਗਾ। ਆਹ ਸਕਰੂ ਦਿਸ ਵਨ ਐਂਡ ਦਿਸ ਵਨ ਰਿਮੂਵ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕੱਢਣਾ ਵਾ। ਫਿਰ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਖੋਲ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਨਟ ਖੋਲ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਟ ਰਿਪਲੇਸ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਲੌਂਗ ਨਟਸ ਐਡ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ ਸਟੈਪ 3 ਵਾਲੇ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਸਪੇਸਰ ਐਡ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ। ਫਿਰ ਇੱਥੇ we are removing the screws and losing this one and this one, and remove this. Okay, nothing else. Okay, we are adding this long nut This is a small one. First we are adding the something nut side. One side here, one wheel, one spacer, and this one, and like this nut or small spanner. This one, okay, so we are holding be careful. Okay, this one here, and now only add up this one first. Okay, so after this we are adding like this, and after that ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਲੱਗ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਪਾਉਣੀਆਂ। ਠੀਕ, ਮਤਲਬ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਹ ਵੀਲ ਐਡ ਕਰ ਲੈਣਾ, ਆਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਐਡ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈਗਾ, not this one. Okay, so slide like this. This is the easiest way to do this and tighten. First like this. Now we are adding the things. Okay, now first add this bolt and the spacer and the wheel, and again spacer. Be careful. Now add this. Nut, same, one side downside, same thing. Spacer, wheel, and nut. Now like this all. Hold and tight it. Okay, we are at this, and after tighten all these 3 screws and nuts, and now finally we are adding here screw. Okay, tight this, and this is that way. Now this lead screw sliding here. So here only one thing to do is here tight this grub screws, one here, and now it's ready. Okay, so this is the easiest way to mount this without losing any X gantry, removing a X cross beam, anything else from top, this and the downside, another side, nothing. This is the easiest ways to do this. Okay, now we are at this lead screw. This is all setup is done. So we got to see. We all setup is done. Here lead screws add, mount plate add, motor add, everything is done. So now it's a wiring part. So what we are doing here, on open karna. What we're doing here, we're opening this bottom plate and check it why it's not turning on, and wiring from here to here. Okay, so and we are also adding this Wi-Fi module inside. It's a ESP7S module. It's a biqu touch. See. Okay, ESP8266 module. So biqu touch 7S module. We're adding this. Now we are adding the cable from here to here. Has a 6-pin connector, has a 4-pin connector. 16 goes here, and this one goes inside here. Now we are all remove this one, this pads, foots, these screws, like all this one, all these screws, this one, these threes, the foots, everything we are have to remove it. Open this panel. So we're adding our extra driver and attach this motor cable, anything. Okay, so let's open it and check it. Okay, I open this plate from here. Here is the bottom. So temporary I attach the foots here for a temporary purpose, because we are attaching a wiring and testing and checking everything. Okay, so attach the foots and after that we are checking. Okay, what's the actual problem we are facing here? Why this print is not turning on? Because this wire is loose. When it's traveling, the wire is not here. So it's a neutral cable. So why it's light up here, but motherboard is not turning on? Because it's so now we are adding this wire here. So this wire is a losing wire. This is not turning on. Okay, so don't worry if some kind of wiring issue. So now wire is attached. Hope it's turning on. So this wire comes from here, from downside. So okay, what we are arranging this. Okay, we are from behind. Okay, so this motor wire comes here. We're adding here behind from this and this. Okay, here is the SKR2 motherboard. Is the main power, bed, display. Is the SPI TFT version 1.1 display. So in next time I'm changing this. So we are adding the drivers this driver goes here. Okay, so wire goes here. So here's a X, Y, Z and extruder. So here's a, if we are using a parallel, so this is a the Z1. So this is one driver using a two motors. So we are not doing that because we are using a auto alignment feature. So we are adding a extra driver and UAT mode, and the here is the this wire goes here like this. So what this locks and this locks and add it here. Now push it. Okay, now it's done. So X, Y, Z1 is a Z2. This is for the parallel motor connection. So we are not using a parallel, we are using a independent. Okay, so here is a, and we are adding a driver here. So here's a heat sink and attaching here. So remove this and attach a heat sink and like this, and we are done. Okay, we are install the heat sink here and heat sink लाता हुण आपां की करना वा, we are matching the color, red for red side, black for black side for the correct orientation for this head drive. आपां मैच करना वा कि सही लगे, रेड साइड है जिहड़ी वो रेड पासे, ब्लैक साइड ब्लैक पासे आपां इस तरह टच करके उस तो बाद आ जंपर का बहुत ध्यान रखना वा। इस टाइम बाय डिफॉल्ट UART हैगा वा आ जंपर। ओके, नहीं हैगा तो ओरिएंटेशन अगर UART SP मोड तुसीं देखना ध्यान दे नाल फिर अटैच। सो आपां हुण इहनूं अटैच कर दिंने आ ड्राइवर नूं, स्पिन से अटैच करके पुश कर देना वा, ड्राइवर इंस्टॉल हो गया। ओके, हुण आपां इहदे विच एक फर्मवेयर इंस्टॉल करनी है ते हुण देखते हैं BQ ने इहदी फर्मवेयर प्रोवाइड कीती है कि नहीं, ये चैक करांगे हुण इंडिपेंडेंट ड्राइवर वास्ते फर्मवेयर दित्ती है कि नहीं दित्ती। सो AC वायरिंग दी प्रॉब्लम सही सेट कर ली। Now install the independent driver and Z leads to motor connection here. Okay, motor connection हो गया, ये सारा आप अटैचमेंट ओके हो गया। आप टेम्परेरी तौर पे अटैच कीते तो बाद चो लगावांगे ते ये हैगा वा वाईफाई ड्राइवर। सो ये भी अटैच कर लेने हैं, ये अटैच होगा इत्थे। वाईफाई ड्राइवर goes here. Sorry, goes here. This is red to red, black to black. So here's SD card. Okay, so we are adding like this. It's an antenna. So, let's try. Okay, I install this Wi-Fi module here. See, the red side here and black side here. This orientation is, so antenna is outside. Black red side, black side. बिल्कुल ड्राइवर वांगू अटैच करना वा ते वायरिंग एंटीना पर बाहर कर लेना। ओके, बस सब कुछ अटैच कर लिया तो हम अपन ऑन कर दें। ओके, ऑन हो गया। So printer is finally, let's reboot it again, finally on, Okay, so here is the main functions. Menu, nozzle, heating, bed heating, fan, speed, print, SD card, U-disk, pen drive. Nothing here. No notification panel, nothing here. Menu, movement, home, Z home, etc. Home, extruder, movement, emergency stop. Here's a burning football theme. Setting, screen setting, machine setting, run out, power loss, motor unlock. This is a motor disable is inside the shutdown, auto power off, LED colors, anything extras, default information, motherboard information, firmware information. There's a bed leveling, auto bed leveling, X, baby step, preheat, cool down. Yeah, just pretty much basic features, nothing special. This is only a colored functions, but everything is a basic, same as a old display, but it's icon and graphical display. That's it, nothing else. There is a this is not like a TFT43 last time I'm using and reviewed and videos. ਓਕੇ ਲਾਸਟ ਟਾਈਮ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੈਂ TFT43 ਦੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਬਣਾਈ ਸੀਗੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਰਗੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ। ਬੇਸਿਕ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗ੍ਰਾਫਿਕਸ ਨੇ ਕੁਛ ਸ਼ੋ ਕੀਤਾ ਵਾ, ਬਟ ਨਾਰਮਲ ਡਿਸਪਲੇ ਵਰਗੇ ਫੰਕਸ਼ਨਸ ਨੇ, ਕੁਛ ਐਕਸਟਰਾ ਖਾਸ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਜੋ ਬਾਕੀ ਡਿਸਪਲਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਵਾ। ਓਕੇ, ਸੋ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਹੋਮ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਬਟ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਇਹਦਾ ਫਰਮਵੇਅਰ ਅਪਡੇਟ ਕਰਨੀ ਪੈਣੀ ਆ। ਉਹਦੇ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇਹ ਐਕਸਟਰਾ ਚੱਲੂਗਾ, ਇਹ ਇਨੇਬਲ ਹੋਊਗਾ। ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਲੈਫਟ ਸਾਈਡ ਵਾਲਾ ਲੀਡ ਸਕਰੂ ਇਨੇਬਲਡ ਆ, ਔਰ ਰਾਈਟ ਸਾਈਡ ਵਾਲਾ ਇਨੇਬਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੰਡੀਪੈਂਡੈਂਟ ਲਗਾਇਆ ਵਾ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਫਰਮਵੇਅਰ ਅਪਡੇਟ ਕਰਨੀ ਪੈਣੀ ਹੈ, ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਚੱਲੇਗਾ ਸਾਰਾ। You have to update the firmware for the independent DLC because you are not using the second lead screw for the default. No, you have to use this single, so you have to update the firmware. Okay, so let's check it, the firmware. Okay, this SD card goes here for a firmware. TFT card, USB for the connection. This is a Wi-Fi connection. Okay, so here is, press a restart. It's flashing a firmware, and let's check it if it's working or not. Nope. This is not working because the firmware is not for this display. This is a SPI display, and I think this is a TFT version 3. The communication level is a different style. So this, I think the printer is flashed, working, but display is not working. Okay, I'm adding this 43 version 3 display. Okay, and check it, it's working or not. Attach this display to this and check it. Okay, we are adding display connection here. Here is, and RS connection here, displays. So this is a display attached here, but this is a larger display, 4.3 inch. It's not fixing here, so we are not using this. We have to change the display or something else, or changing some firmware somehow. Okay, so check it. Okay, we are attached the display, turning on the light. Okay, I see something on this display, but this display is still white. Okay, this display is giving error. Let's check. It's line number +1, last 9 zeros. Okay, so it's not communicate with the motherboard. Let's check if it's okay. It's not giving error, but no printer attached. But reset. Okay, it's reset. Let's check it, it's attached or not. No printer attached. I don't know why, but maybe the firmware is having some issue. I'm changing a bound rate, but the firmware is not working. Attach both displays. Let's see if nope. Nothing. No. Change the boundary and check it. It's not working. The firmware is not properly worked. Okay, so the second time it's flopped. The biqu provide the firmware that's not working. So check it again. We install it on firmware, the latest Merlin firmware, and check it what is happening. Okay, everything download from biqu website, SC Plus, and into the GitHub page, the biqu B1 SE Plus. But I'm trying every firmware, but this firmware is not working properly. Show you this firmware independent double z.bin firmware. This is not working. Nothing else. No firmware is working. So next time compile my own firmware. So check it and test it and show you it's working. But the documentation the biqu provided here, so that is not working. Like, okay, so biqu's firmware is not working on with its own printer. I don't know why. So okay, I compile my own firmware. So this is now it's a black and white firmware. So working with this. Okay, and okay, don't know, it's now some firmware problem or something else. It's frequently restarted. So here is the black and white. Now it's old style. Okay, but I attach this firmware, so this is working. So here is a Wi-Fi IP address and movement. Every functions are here. Now it's homing. With dual lead screw, dual Z workings independent. So bed leveling, auto bed leveling, and here is a Z alignment. So what is this basically Z alignment? The nozzles, this point and this point, they measuring the point and level this cross beam level. So when I click here, start it. So here start showing working like this, showing alteration. Now it's measuring here and measuring here. Like दोनों पासे point measure करूँगा. Second attempt. Just show the code. Once formed, it's complete. So when it's trying to a manual, so like here and measure this side and this side, and the lead screw turning it on and rotating and level this cross beam, X cross beam. So with this it's perfectly straight. so it's accurately straight. So this is why I'm using independent lead screws. So that's help you a lot for more accuracy. I don't know, but I have to figure it out. Either I have to change this display or some firmware rating or something. So I'm not like this black and white display, so it's not anymore using a touch screen like this. So here is either I have to change a TFT35 like this one. This is a 43, so I have to change it or finding something else. So here is a installation for the second lead screw and the Wi-Fi. It's working on the D4. So this is basically installation. Okay. This lead screw, it's working. Okay, but biqu, again your firmware is not working. This is a disappointment. So okay guys, thanks for watching this video. I'm figuring it out, this firmware issues and anything else. So when I trying some benchmarks, something else, so when I'm using, upload the next video. Thanks you.